Nigeria, a land of immense potential, grapples with a familiar foe: corruption. It festers in the corridors of power, casting a long shadow over the nation's progress. From inflated contracts to embezzled funds, the stench of corruption permeates every facet of society. The people, weary of broken promises, yearn for a beacon of hope, a symbol of change. In a surprising move, the government has announced the reinstatement of Nigeria's old national anthem. This decision, met with mixed reactions, has sparked debate about the power of symbols in tackling deep-rooted issues. Can a mere song, a relic of the past, truly inspire a nation to confront its demons? Or is this simply a superficial attempt to paper over the cracks of a fractured society? The old anthem, Nigeria, We Hail Thee, evokes a sense of nostalgia, a reminder of a time when the nation's future seemed bright with promise. It speaks of unity, peace, and progress, ideals that have become increasingly elusive in present-day Nigeria. The government's decision to revive this anthem is a clear attempt to harness the power of symbolism, to rally the people around a shared identity. But can a song, however stirring, truly heal the wounds of corruption and division? Can it mend the broken trust between the government and its people? Or is this simply a case of misplaced priorities, a distraction from the real work that needs to be done? The decision to reinstate the old anthem has been met with a mixture of hope and skepticism. Some view it as a unifying force, a symbol of national pride that transcends ethnic and religious divides. They argue that the familiar melody and lyrics can evoke a sense of shared identity, reminding Nigerians of their common heritage. Others, however, remain unconvinced. They see the move as a superficial gesture, a band-aid solution to a gaping wound. They argue that true unity cannot be imposed from above, but must be built from the ground up, through dialogue, understanding, and a genuine commitment to inclusivity. Nigeria is a nation of immense diversity, home to over 250 ethnic groups, each with its own distinct language, culture, and history. While this diversity is a source of strength and vibrancy, it also presents unique challenges. Ethnic tensions, fueled by political manipulation and economic inequality, continue to simmer beneath the surface, threatening to erupt into violence. The question, then, is whether a national anthem, however unifying in its intent, can truly bridge these divides. Can it foster a sense of belonging among groups that have long felt marginalized and excluded? Or will it simply serve as a reminder of the chasm that separates them? The effectiveness of symbolic gestures in tackling complex societal issues is a subject of much debate. On the one hand, symbols can be powerful tools for social change. They can inspire hope, mobilize communities, and challenge oppressive systems. Think of the raised fist, a symbol of resistance and solidarity, or the rainbow flag, a beacon of LGBTQ+ pride and equality. On the other hand, symbols can also be empty gestures devoid of real meaning or impact. They can be used to mask inaction, to create the illusion of progress without addressing the root causes of problems. In such cases, symbols become a form of propaganda, a way to pacify the masses while maintaining the status quo. In the case of Nigeria's anthem switch, it is too early to say what impact, if any, it will have on the country's deeply entrenched corruption and ethnic divisions. The success or failure of this symbolic gesture will depend largely on the government's commitment to following through with concrete actions. If the anthem change is accompanied by genuine efforts to address corruption, promote inclusivity, and ensure equal opportunities for all Nigerians, then it has the potential to be a catalyst for positive change. However, if it remains an isolated gesture, a mere PR stunt, then it will likely do little to address the country's fundamental problems. Symbols carry weight. They embody shared values, aspirations, and historical narratives. A national anthem, in particular, holds a special place in the hearts of citizens. It is a sonic representation of their collective identity, a rallying cry that evokes feelings of patriotism and belonging. When a nation chooses to change its anthem, it is not merely altering a tune or a set of lyrics. It is making a profound statement about its identity, its values, and its aspirations for the future. The decision to revert to Nigeria's old anthem is no exception. It is a deliberate attempt to reconnect with the past, to evoke a sense of nostalgia for a time when the nation's future seemed brighter. The question is whether this nostalgic yearning can translate into tangible action. Can it inspire a new generation of leaders to uphold the values of integrity, accountability, and service that are enshrined in the anthem's lyrics? Or will it remain a hollow echo of a bygone era? The answer, as with most things in life, is complex and multifaceted. It depends on the willingness of those in power to embrace the ideals embodied in the anthem and to translate them into concrete policies and actions.
North and South, medley.
Section 5, A Tapestry of Cultures. Nigeria's cultural landscape is as diverse as its geography. From the bustling markets of Lagos to the ancient city walls of Kano, from the rolling hills of the Horse Plateau to the mangrove swamps of the Niger Delta, Nigeria is a land of contrasts, a melting pot of cultures, languages, and traditions. This diversity, while a source of immense richness and beauty, also presents unique challenges. Ethnic and religious differences, often exploited by opportunistic politicians, have led to conflict and mistrust. The struggle for resources, power, and recognition has created deep divisions within Nigerian society. In this context, the decision to reinstate the old national anthem can be seen as an attempt to foster a sense of shared identity, to remind Nigerians of their common heritage. The anthem, with its message of unity and brotherhood, seeks to transcend the particularities of ethnicity, religion, and region. But can a song, however stirring, truly heal the wounds of division? Can it bridge the chasm of mistrust and suspicion that exists between different groups? Or is it merely a superficial attempt to paper over the cracks of a fractured society? Section 6. The Fault Lines of Identity. Identity is a complex and multifaceted construct. It is shaped by a multitude of factors, including ethnicity, religion, gender, language, and culture. In Nigeria, as in many other parts of the world, these different facets of identity often intersect and overlap, creating a complex tapestry of belonging and difference. The challenge for any nation-state is to create a sense of shared national identity that encompasses and celebrates this diversity, without erasing or suppressing the particularities of individual and group identities. This is a delicate balancing act, one that requires sensitivity, understanding, and a commitment to inclusivity. The decision to revert to Nigeria's old national anthem can be seen as an attempt to navigate this complex terrain of identity. The anthem, with its message of unity and patriotism, seeks to foster a sense of shared national pride that transcends ethnic, religious, and regional differences. However, the success of this endeavor will depend largely on the government's ability to address the underlying factors that contribute to division and mistrust. This includes tackling corruption, promoting equitable distribution of resources, and ensuring equal opportunities for all Nigerians, regardless of their background. Section 7. When symbols ring hollow. Symbols, however powerful, can only achieve so much. They can inspire, they can unite, they can provide a sense of hope and shared purpose. But they cannot, on their own, solve deep-seated societal problems. When symbols are not backed by concrete action, they ring hollow, their message losing its potency. The reinstatement of Nigeria's old national anthem, while a symbolic gesture of unity and a nod to the past, cannot be a substitute for addressing the root causes of corruption and division. If the government truly seeks to heal the nation's wounds, it must go beyond symbolic gestures and implement tangible reforms. Addressing corruption requires a multi-pronged approach, including strengthening institutions, promoting transparency and accountability, and empowering citizens to hold their leaders accountable. It requires a fundamental shift in the political culture, a move away from the culture of impunity that has allowed corruption to flourish for so long. Similarly, fostering unity in a diverse society like Nigeria requires more than just a shared anthem. It requires a commitment to inclusivity, to ensuring that all citizens feel a sense of belonging and have equal opportunities to succeed. It requires addressing historical grievances, promoting inter-ethnic dialogue, and celebrating the richness and diversity of Nigerian culture. The challenges facing Nigeria are urgent and multifaceted. Corruption continues to drain the nation's resources, hindering development and exacerbating inequality. Ethnic and religious tensions simmer beneath the surface, threatening to erupt into violence. Poverty, unemployment, and lack of access to basic services continue to plague millions of Nigerians. In the face of these challenges, symbolic gestures, while well-intentioned, are not enough. What Nigeria needs is decisive action, a comprehensive plan to address the root causes of its problems. This requires strong leadership, a commitment to good governance, and the political will to implement difficult but necessary reforms. The government must prioritize the fight against corruption, strengthening institutions, promoting transparency, and holding corrupt officials accountable. It must invest in education, healthcare, and infrastructure, creating opportunities for all Nigerians to thrive. It must address the root causes of ethnic and religious tensions, promoting dialogue, understanding, and a shared sense of national identity. The task ahead is daunting, but not insurmountable. Nigeria has the potential to overcome its challenges and fulfill its promise as a beacon of hope and progress in Africa. But this will require a collective effort, a commitment from all segments of society to work towards a brighter future. The reinstatement of Nigeria's old national anthem, while a symbolic gesture, should not be dismissed as entirely meaningless. Symbols can hold power, evoking emotions, memories, and shared experiences. They can serve as reminders of shared values and aspirations, inspiring individuals and communities to strive for something greater than themselves. However, it is crucial to recognize that symbols alone cannot bring about lasting change. They must be accompanied by concrete actions, by tangible efforts to address the underlying issues that plague society. To truly tackle corruption, bridge ethnic divides, and create a more just and equitable Nigeria, the government must go beyond superficial gestures and implement substantive reforms. This requires a multifaceted approach that addresses the root causes of these challenges. It requires strengthening institutions, promoting transparency and accountability, and empowering citizens to hold their leaders accountable. It requires investing in education, healthcare, and infrastructure, creating opportunities for all Nigerians to thrive. Moreover, it requires fostering a culture of dialogue, understanding, and respect for diversity. It requires addressing historical grievances, promoting inter-ethnic and inter-religious harmony, and celebrating the richness of Nigeria's multicultural heritage. The reinstatement of Nigeria's old national anthem can be seen as an invitation, a call to action for all citizens to work towards a brighter future. It is a reminder of the shared values of unity, peace, and progress that underpin the Nigerian project. However, this call to action must be met with concrete steps, with a genuine commitment to addressing the challenges that have long plagued the nation. The anthem, with its evocative lyrics and stirring melody, can serve as a source of inspiration, a reminder of what Nigeria can achieve when its people are united in purpose. The path forward requires a collective effort, a shared responsibility to build a Nigeria that lives up to its potential. It requires leaders who are accountable, transparent, and committed to serving the needs of the people. It requires citizens who are engaged, informed, and willing to hold their leaders accountable. Ultimately, the success of Nigeria's journey towards progress will depend not on symbolic gestures alone, but on the collective will of its people to create a more just, equitable, and prosperous society for all. As Nigeria navigates the complexities of the 21st century, it faces a choice: to cling to the past or to embrace the future. The reinstatement of the old national anthem can be seen as a nostalgic yearning for a bygone era, a time when the nation's future seemed full of promise. However, true progress lies not in simply returning to the past, but in learning from it and forging a new path forward. Nigeria's greatest resource is its people, their resilience, their creativity, their unwavering belief in the possibility of a brighter future. The challenge now is to harness this potential, to create a Nigeria where corruption is not a way of life, but a relic of the past. A Nigeria where ethnic and religious differences are not exploited for political gain, but celebrated as a source of strength and unity. A Nigeria where every citizen, regardless of their background, has the opportunity to thrive and reach their full potential. The reinstatement of the old national anthem can be a starting point, a symbolic reminder of the shared values that unite Nigerians. But it is up to each and every citizen to write the next chapter in Nigeria's story, a chapter defined by progress, unity, and hope.